Welcome back to K-Nation. We're talking Wildcat football now, and Lainey, not just Wildcat football, but Wildcat football recruiting, which is a very important part of
it. Is very important, a very niche area, so we had to bring in Ryan Wallace from Go Powercat. Ryan, how's it going today?
Doing well, doing well. A little rainy, but we're here, we're happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, recruiting is a wild world, so we need your help, your expertise. I'm curious, I love watching these teams and kind of seeing the types of guys that they go after and kind of the trends that they recruit towards year after year. Are you seeing any trends with K-State football as they've been recruiting the past couple of seasons?
Well, one thing that, we heard from Chris Kleiman when he was hired was that, and I want to say Tim Fitzgerald was in his office doing an interview like week one that he was on the job, and he said, we want guys that are going to be bigger, longer, faster than I think kind of what K-State had recruited in the past under Bill Snyder. And, it took him a little bit of time, I think, to get himself entrenched around the state and get the brand out in places like Texas and Florida and all the different pipelines that his staff has. And as time has gone on, you've seen that. And particularly with this class of offensive linemen in 2024, many of whom have already signed. We've got National Signing Day coming up on Wednesday, but really K-State, the bulk of what they've already done is in the bag by now because of early signing day in December. But you look at the offensive linemen from Gus Hawkins, Caden Massey, on down the line, guys that are 6'7", 6'8", and so they're just getting a different level, I think, of athlete, particularly again when it comes to length and just overall speed.
You mentioned two guys, and those guys both Kansas kids coming in next year. How important is it that they recruit the state of Kansas, and how have they found success there? Chris Kleiman, I'm sure he had a few coaching connections, but he didn't have a ton of ties to Kansas when he got here, but they really have recruited the home state really well.
Sure, and I mean, that's one of the things that, he did when he was at North Dakota State, and he wanted to continue to do at Kansas State as well. And, Taylor Bratt, keeping him on staff as one of the few carryovers from Bill Snyder really helped them stay in the high school market in Kansas. He has such great connections around the state, being a local guy himself. And so then on top of Taylor, I think what they've been able to do with Coach Kleiman is just get out there and really hammer home the walk-ons as well. We like to focus even at Go Powercat on the scholarship guys, and they get all the headlines, right? But the walk-ons, which again I mentioned signing day coming up on Wednesday, that's where a lot of the walk-ons kind of get their spotlight a little bit, and that is where Chris Kleiman has carried over, I think, what Coach Snyder began with K-State. The walk-ons, Chris Kleiman has continued. That was where Bill Snyder just hit home run after home run, and Chris Kleiman continues to do that here. In terms of how they've done it, I just think that they've proven, they've invested in it, and I think a lot of the high school kids still remember all the ones that have come before them, and there's some value in wanting to carry on that tradition at K-State.
And a lot of those walk-ons end up not being walk-ons by the time they leave K-State.
Yeah. How have you noticed NIL kind of impact recruiting for K-State?
Well, it's definitely something that I think, again, we talk about walk-ons. There's value now in taking the walk-on route. And where it used to be like, I want to prove myself, right? Now there's value in being a walk-on at the FBS level or the Power 5 level because you might be able to get paid. And so it hurts some of the FCS teams out there, the MIAA teams a little bit, because I think some of the guys that they used to be able to get on scholarship now are more interested in maybe taking a walk-on route because there is some financial value before you get on scholarship. So that's definitely one area that I think NIL has impacted greatly.
Talk to me about a coach's job in this age of college football. They're not just recruiting juniors and seniors in high school. They're recruiting their own players because the transfer portal is an option. And then they're recruiting players who are in the transfer portal, and they're fundraising NIL, and they're, oh my gosh, I don't know if Chris Kleiman has time to breathe.
No, and I mean, that's why we saw the coach from Boston College just leave and take an offensive coordinator role in the NFL. And I've said it for years, like when you cover college football particularly, but collegiate staffs in terms of recruiting and how much it really is a 24/7, 365 job, it is. Anytime you get that invitation from the NFL, I think anybody's going to take it.
Yeah, Ryan Wallace, Go Powercat, 247 Sports. Somehow he keeps track of it all. We don't. We just look for when he tweets, and you let us know. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you, guys.
All right, well, you guys stick around. There is more K-Nation after the break.